Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to learn the last part of chapter 3, the letter A. We are going to discuss from page number 32. Last day we saw that Christy took that yellow chalk from Mona's hand and he took that with his left foot and tried to write something on the floor. So everybody was excited to see that and everybody was staring at him. That was the place where we stopped last day. They all were sitting in the fire hall in order to make them warm because it was a December day. After scribbling with that yellow chalk, our Christie's face lit by hot in that open hearth. His father sat near to him and pampered him well. He felt the sweat outbreak on his forehead. Christie's mother came in from the pantry with a steaming pot in her hand. She stopped midway between the table and the fire, feeling the tension following through the room. Everybody was staring at our Christie. The mother also followed their stare and saw him in the corner. Her eyes looked from his face down to his foot. She saw his foot with the chalk gripped between his toes. She put down the pot. Then she crossed over to him and knelt down beside him, as she had done so many times before. "I will show you what to do with Christ," she said. She said that in a very slowly and in a queer, choked way. Her face flushed as if with some inner excitement. Taking another chalk from Mona, she hesitated, then very deliberately drew on the floor in front of me the single letter A. By looking steadily at Christie, she said, "Copy that. Copy it, Christie." But our Christie couldn't. Christie looked around. He looked into the faces that were staring at him. Now the excited faces were tensed, frozen, immobile, and they were eager and waiting for a miracle in their midst. When Christie was not able to write that single letter A again, the stillness in that room was deep. The room was full of flame and shadow that danced before his eyes and smoothed his tight nerves into a sort of waking sleep. He could hear the sound of the water tap dripping in the pantry, the loud tick of the clock on the mantel shelf, and the soft hiss and crackles of the logs on the open hearth. That much silence flourished everywhere. The room was very hot and everybody was waiting for the action from Christie. Their eagerness and excitement made that silence more and more deeper. Christie tried again. He put out his foot and made a wild jerking stab with the chalk, which produced a very crooked line and nothing more. Christie's mother held that slate steady for him, and she said, "Try again, Christ." And he did. He stiffened his body and put his left foot out again. This is the third try. He drew one side of the letter. He drew half of the other side. With the stiffness of his toes and legs, the chalk broke into a small piece. That time, Christie wanted to throw it away and give up. That very moment, he felt his mother's hand on his shoulder. He tried once more. That time, he shook, he sweated and strained every muscles. That time, his hands were so tightly halted because of determination. He set his teeth so hard that he nearly pursed his lower lip. Everything in that room stood still, and every faces were reddish. But our Christie drew the letter A. It was not an easy task to him. He stretched, he took pain, he was having difficulty to hold his hands, and felt stress in all his muscles. At last, he succeeded in writing the letter A. That letter A was there on the floor before him. That A was not a good one. The lines were not in a proper way. It was a shaky, with awkward, wobbly sides and a very uneven center line. But altogether it was the letter A. He looked up. He saw his mother's face for a moment, tears on her cheeks. Then his father stooped and lifted him into his shoulders. Yes, our Christy had done it. It had started the thing that was to give his mind its change for expressing itself. It was true he could not speak with his lips, but now he would speak through something more lasting than spoken words, written words. Now he is able to write. That one letter, scrawled on the floor with a broken bit of yellow chalk gripped between his toes, was his road to a new world. That was the key to his mental freedom. He got the freedom to write whatever comes to his mind, his feelings, his emotions, and his visions. This incident provided him a better way to talk whatever he wanted. It was too difficult for him to express himself from a twisted mouth, but now it is easy for him to express his needs. After that, Christy Brown learned to write and draw with his left leg, the only part of his body over which he had some control. He took a keen interest in the arts and literature and went on to become a famous writer and painter. So, this story is teaching us there is hope in every difficulty. We can overcome our difficulties by determination and continuous practice. In order to achieve or overcome our difficulties, we need a good family bond. Here, the mother of Christy laid the way towards his success. So, dear students, keep hope in all your difficulties and love your parents. Try hard to make your family a heaven. Good morning, my dear students.